is episode 126 of the Battle of Ohio podcast, a special Sunday morning preview show this week as we prepare for the 99th Battle of Ohio. The Bengals lead the all-time series 51-47, but everyone knows about the Browns' recent dominance in the 2020s. The Browns are currently on a 6-game win streak, and I, for one, am sick and tired of hearing about it. I am sure you're loving it, Thomas. But I personally can't wait to go out there and shut everybody the hell up today.
Maybe. We'll see.
Fuck you. Finally, the Steelers fans are mad at me because the Steelers are too low in my power rankings. Which, upon further review, I looked back and I realized maybe they're right. Maybe the Steelers probably shouldn't be in tank time. I didn't really look into that enough. I probably should have, given them a little bit of a boost. But ultimately, it doesn't really matter, because why, Thomas?
Because Pittsburgh still sucks.
Because they still suck.
You still suck, Pittsburgh.
They're not making the playoffs.
Where you go? Oh, so, hi, guys. Generally, at this moment, it's the moment where Kyle cues the music. And you hear the music go like da 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 da. Okay, it's awkward. Okay, here you back.
So the Steelers still suck at football, and I still suck at hitting buttons on my keyboard that knock my browser window off. So anyway,
welcome to the Battle of Ohio podcast, where we follow the revival of the historic rivalry between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Cleveland Browns.
I guess first of all, y'all saw nothing. Nothing just happened. We're moving on.
I had a little solo on camera. I got a little solo. I was so handsome.
Well, there you go, Thomas. I'm glad you had fun on camera.
Yeah, thank you.
He was the host briefly.
I was going to take over.
Speaking of taking over, it's about damn time Joe Burrow takes over and gets on top of these Cleveland Browns. 6 straight wins is not okay. Now, first of all,
it's perfectly fine.
It is not perfectly fine. First of all, I want to point out first of all that any results that happen before 2021, I don't really care about. You can be like, oh, we beat you 6 times in a row, but those first 2 games, I kind of I don't really they were really actually the whole premise of this podcast, Thomas, if you recall, when we started this whole thing, it was based on the fact that the Bengals-Browns rivalry is and this super old rivalry that's we really believe is going to start coming back into prominence soon.
Mm-hmm.
And what we saw from the first 2 battles of Ohio that we did on this show, actually no, we started after the one, but that first one kind of confirmed to us that we should do this podcast, and the second one confirmed to us that even though the Browns won both of those games, they were incredible games. Joe Burrow and Baker Mayfield, those were legendary duels between those 2.
And we thought that was going to be the quarterback battle of the future. Yeah.
Well, and we thought that's just what things were going to be like going forward. And then last year happened, and the Bengals were on a hot streak, and then ran into the Browns and got steamrolled. But then the other one that last year, who cares? Who cares? It was our backup.
I'll give you that.
Okay.
But we went with our backup.
Let me rephrase. I cared. I cared. I definitely wanted to win that game, but at the same time, it didn't really made virtually no difference what happened in that game. So we played all of our backups, Thomas, not just Jacoby Brissett, who, by the way, might be a better quarterback than Deshaun Watson right now. Anyway,
one game.
My point is, yeah, well, we'll talk about that in a second. But my point is, the Browns have beaten Joe Burrow a total of 2 meaningful times. Now y'all, that's still 2-0. That's still an important accomplishment, and y'all blasted us both of those meaningful times. So I'm not here to say it doesn't matter. I'm just saying the national media is trying to push this whole Joe Burrow's never beaten the Browns and they're 6-0 in the last whatever, and I'm just I don't really care about most of those games. 2 of those games were big deals, and I'm very salty about both of those games. But the other 4 games, it's just like I don't care about what happened in 2020. I don't care about what happened at the end of the regular season in 2021. It's just like, I'll give them. I'll give, and I don't care what happened the final game in 2019 either. So the Browns are undefeated against the Bengals in the 2020s. And that is a real stat that, like, I actually do care about. But the fact that Joe Burrow hasn't beaten them, I don't like. It's like the 2 games. Those 2 games sucked, but I don't really see it as like it's not a trend right now. It's just right now. It's just a stat. If it happens again, it's a trend. If it happens today, it's a trend. But right now, it's not a trend yet.
Man, let me look at my merchandise because I'm loving this new trend, man. It's gonna be a nice new trend. Let me get my nice little new trendy shirt, my nice little trendy pants, my little trendy shoes, get trendy watch, flash for the ladies. It's called the Browns whooping Bengals ass trend.
I want to be the Browns so badly. I want the Bengals to go out there and just lay a whooping on them. I just so badly. Like, I'm so sick and tired of this. I don't. Like, outside of there being a rivalry, I don't like desperately hate the Browns the way I hate the Steelers, but I'm still sick and tired of this narrative. It needs to end today, and it needs to end badly. So I'm
cause y'all be talking so much smack to us, man. We just be minding our business. We just be minding our freaking business. And y'all be saying shit to us.
Bullshit. All week on Twitter, Bengals fans have been like, yeah, we beat the Chiefs. Look at this awesome thing we did, which, by the way, I'm salty that we didn't do an episode last week because or like over the course of this whole week, because I didn't really get to express on the podcast how excited I was about beating the Chiefs. But we're over here like being like, oh, we're like the best team in the AFC, blah, blah, blah. And just out of nowhere, these reckless Browns fans come pooping and shitting everywhere. Like, yeah, we beat you 6 times in a row. Like,
no. I was on the Twitter space. I was on the Twitter space. Y'all was talking shit. Like, no. You listen to our radio. Whoever talking about shit like Deshaun Watson and shit. We care about Deshaun Watson more than we care about y'all. Well, we probably should.
That is not true. Not from what I've seen. You, Thomas Stargell, you might have had this experience because you're like all these crazy Bengals fans because you're a reasonable human being. I'm just saying, on the whole, Browns fans have been reckless all week talking about like, oh, you haven't beat us yet. And it's like, okay, well, we went to the Super Bowl, so what do you want to say about that?
I mean, we're just the superior city in Ohio, though. We are Kentucky.
Well, I was about to say, allegedly, we're in Kentucky anyway. So, I mean, like, what are we comparing Cleveland? Are we comparing it to Columbus? Like, I mean, I'm not sure. I think I've been to both Cleveland and Columbus, and you might hate me for this, Thomas, but like outside of like the university area, I actually really enjoy Columbus as a city, and I was kind of bored in Cleveland. So, I mean, that's my impression of those 2 cities so far.
I was bored Columbus. But, I mean, like, all my fun in Cleveland happened. All my fun in Cleveland come from the sports teams. I just love the sports teams here.
Well, I guess maybe that's it. Maybe I don't love the sports teams there. And at the time when I was visiting Columbus a lot, this was before we had a soccer team here in Cincinnati. So I was going to Columbus Crew games.
Oh, yeah, man, Cleveland recently. Yeah, man, Cleveland recently. You see, it's all built up and everything.
I went to Cleveland last year.
Oh, on down.
In a hotel. I even texted you. I was like, hey, bro, I'm here. And I think you were busy or something like that. But I was there last year.
Oh, damn. I should show you a better time. Like, if you came this year, this year, man, I got you.
Oh, we're not coming this year. Same reason I can't go to these games. All right, cool. We ain't traveling a whole lot this year, but next year.
Hey, trust me, man. Hey. You understand the situation?
Yeah. No, I feel it. But listen. We didn't get a chance to talk about like the recaps this week, which kind of sucks. Yep. But we still need to talk about how I told you about Deshaun Watson, didn't I? I told you he was going to be rusty. I told you that dude may not be the kind of saver you think he is. Like
Hey,
he might get better. He might get better, to be fair. But you were like, oh, if the Browns can win like 6 games, then they're gonna make the playoffs.
Wait, hold on. See, I prepared for this.
Okay.
I prepared for this.
What you got?
I'm pretty sure. I'm almost certain I got it in writing on Twitter. That I said, all right. Yeah, I was certain that I said. Now I'm certain that I said, even on his podcast, you're very realistic with yourself. The season's over. In fact, I am the first person who literally got in front of the camera, Cleveland.com, with a Jason mask and said it's over. I said it multiple times. The realistic thing that's going to happen is Deshaun Watson going to look rest in the first 6 games, and then the season's over. He's not going to be able to stay the season, and it's going to be just basically him ramping up. I said that. I swear I said that. I did not say they were going to run the table. I said they could run the table. I said that's realistic.
Thomas, I'm talking about the whole season. I'm talking about like you were sitting here. You were like Charlie Day with the big board, and you're like, well, if they just do this and that, this and that, they just got to win. Like they can just win 6 games, and they're going to go 9-8, and the 9-8 team's going to make the playoffs this year. And you didn't realize that the 9-8 team's going to make the playoffs from the NFC, not the AFC. But anyway, point being that you were like, Deshaun Watson, Jacoby Brissett's so bad, and Deshaun Watson's going to come and he's going to be our savior. And it's like, and I'm like, well, yeah, maybe eventually, Thomas, but like slow down a little bit. Like this guy hasn't played football in 2 years. Like he's going to be rough at first.
Look, I don't think he's going to take long to take off his rest. I literally think he's going to take a couple games. The reason why I was saying that is because I was under the impression that Browns might win might go 6-5. I'm like, oh, the Browns go 6-5 with that back end schedule, they can make the playoffs. The problem is they didn't go 6-5. They went 4-7. That's a dramatic difference. That is a dramatic difference.
So
I was saying that in the mindset of thinking that we're going 6-5. I still believe, even to this day, the Browns went 6-5. I still believe that would have been more than enough to get Deshaun Watson to shake off the rust and get back to the form he needs to today. Because he can lay an 8 this game and then be fine next game. And I think he's going to be fine next game. He'll be better this game. We'll get to that. But
I don't think so. I think he's going to need an off season. But the thing about Deshaun Watson that you were saying was that, like you were like, oh, well, this team like is a playoff team with, if we got Deshaun Watson instead of Jacoby Brissett. You said that multiple times. He was like, Deshaun Watson ain't going to do that. Deshaun Watson ain't going to do that. And he did that constantly against the Texans. The only reason you guys won that game is because the Texans offense is just a different level of abysmal.
Can we do that again?
Yeah, I think
we're going to see.
I think
he'll be fine.
You're going up against the team. You're going up against the Bengals defense has been just like lights out against the pass over the last like 7 games, Thomas. Like I don't remember the exact like how many games exactly it's been, but it's been something like the last 7 games. The Bengals defense has been the best in the league against the pass. So I was like, if Deshaun Watson does better today, if Deshaun Watson does well today, then like more props to him, honestly. Like, fantastic. And I will say the one thing that he has on his side is Deshaun Watson has virtually no tape out there right now, like outside of like stuff he did in like 2018 and stuff like that. And that might be a benefit going up against this Bengals defense because for whatever reason, the Bengals don't seem to have any ability to play well against guys they have no tape on.
See, I was going to be humble, man. I was going to come on here and be humble. I was going to be nice. And then, you just come out the gate just firing shit at me. So I'm like, fuck it. I'm about to be arrogant, man. I'm about to be fucking arrogant.
You know why that is? You know why it is that you were ready to come on this podcast and be nice? Because you haven't lost 6 in a row.
I was going to be, chill about it. I was going to be like, yeah, realistically, Deshaun Watson needs more time. I won't be like, well, no. No, you come in here talking shit, man. I can't wait. Oh, Deshaun Watson dropped 3 touchdowns on y'all, man. So come on, Kyle. You know that if he gets in rhythm, you know what that man can do. You know that what that man can do when he gets in rhythm. You know he could get rhythm this year. We don't know.
It's not just about being in rhythm. For him to get in that kind of rhythm, he's going to need to have, a lot of experience, which he just doesn't have right now. Now,
but he's also the Deshaun freaking Watson, though.
I'm trying to be fair when I say this, that I do believe that, considering the rest of this year is a bust for the Browns, this could be like his playground. Like, I'm going to go make all my mistakes now. And then next year, like Deshaun Watson is going to be, incredible quarterback for the Cleveland Browns because he's going to have all this tape to watch. He's going to have all next offseason to prepare, and he's going to be fine. I'm just saying right now, right now he's not good. I was expecting him to not be good. And I've been trying to tell people this forever. Like, the second he got suspended for most of the season, I'm like, it's over. The season's over.
Yeah. I think everybody realized the season's over the second he got suspended. But not only just that, well, look, Kyle, you got to realize there are Browns fans who think that he's not going to be a good quarterback. Those Browns fans are very idiotic. If you think that you'd rather have Baker Mayfield than Deshaun Watson, then you need. I mean, I love you, Baker Mayfield. You're great. Like, great game the other day, but you're not taking Baker Mayfield over Deshaun Watson. By the way,
you see that pass that Baker Mayfield had to Van Jefferson?
Dude, trust me, I did. Trust me, I was smiling because I picked him. I was going to make that my big upset of the week.
Well, you didn't, so.
I should have texted you BOW.
Well, you picked the Raiders first of all, so you're already like you have no.
No, I picked the Rams.
Did you? I'm about to go back and check because I remember.
Yeah, I picked the Rams. I picked the Rams. I said Rams.
Let's see. Oh. Yeah. No, I picked the Raiders. Oops.
Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah.
Oops. All right.
Yeah, that's right. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. I caught it. I knew Baker Mayfield would get off the plane after a day and a half of prep and somehow win that game. I didn't know why. I was like, man, this motherfucker about to do that shit. This motherfucker about to do that's going to be the most Baker Mayfield thing. I know that motherfucker. This motherfucker about to get off the plane. You don't win this game. Watch. Well, it was because Jeff Saturday said that I'm not going to sit on the couch and watch TV and work next Sunday's game and beat the Raiders. Jeff Saturday said that shit.
Thomas.
Watson's a Walmart, Baker Mayfield, whatever.
I like your style, Mikey. I like your style. By the way, I do want to respond to the things you said earlier. You said, thankfully, you didn't get Deshaun Watson. That's true. Y'all got Andy Dalton. He's the GOAT. So y'all are good. Deshaun Watson couldn't score a touchdown against the worst team in the league. Look, Deshaun Watson is a good quarterback, y'all. It's just he hasn't played in 2 years, and he's not going to be good at first. If he comes out and has a big game against the Bengals, then I will show up on this podcast and I will eat the crow and whatever. I'm just saying I've been saying all year that he is he might get good, might have a good game late in the season, but the first couple games back are not going to be good for Deshaun Watson, especially that first game he had no experience. The second game he's going up against right now one of the best defenses in the NFL, so. I'm just saying the last time we saw a matchup of this kind of caliber of this exact kind of type between the Bengals and Browns, Domata Peko did the money sign over Johnny Manziel. That's all I'm saying is what happened last time.
We'll see. Let's see what happens. Okay. I think we'll have a better game this game than he did last game, though, for sure.
I think he'll probably. So I think he'll probably throw for a touchdown, maybe even two, right? I think he might have more mistakes this week than he did against the Texans, though. I think this might be more of an erratic type of game. He'll have more big moments, but he'll also have more oh shit moments.
I got you.
That's what I genuinely think is going to happen this week. But anyway, let's go ahead and get through our predictions for the week. Because just so you know, I will be streaming this game, y'all. So head over 1:00 or whatever, head over to my channel and we'll be doing this. But for now, we're going to go through mine and Thomas's predictions for the week. So let me go ahead and bring all that up because I was not prepared because I'm professional, you see. Oh, boy. Oh, we lost Thomas's video feed. That sucks.
Wait.
I swear I know what I'm doing. Okay, so we're going to bring this down here, I think. Okay, look how professional we are. Sorry you're sorry you're sick, by the way, Mikey. Hope you feel better. But anyway, let's go ahead and let me go ahead and readjust that so it actually makes sense where it is. All right, so rules are the same. We both get 30 seconds.
I'm sorry, somebody called me.
Make and explain our pick. And
awesome.
Beyond that, we're going to go ahead and predict week 14. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. There it is. All right. So, Thomas, first game that we're starting with today. And if you're watching the podcast, feel free to make your predictions as well. I'll put you down at the bottom of the screen when you make your pick, and we'll all just kind of make our picks together. But me and Thomas are going to get 30 seconds each to talk about our picks. That way we don't overdo it. But starting out with the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Tennessee Titans in Tennessee. Go ahead. Oh, wait, hold on. Now go ahead.
I'm going to go with the Titans. Jaguars, I mean, they've been improving a little bit this year, but they're horrible in the away games. Trevor Lawrence up and down. But, I like how they've been looking. But give me the Titans, is a better team. I yield all my time to the chair.
Okay,
yeah,
so
I'm efficient.
There you go. I also don't have a whole lot to say about this game, so the 30 seconds is probably going to be more than enough. But I really like what I saw out of the Jaguars last week, right? Like, the way they played against the Ravens. But the problem is there were a lot of mistakes, right? Those are the kind of mistakes I think a team like the Titans punishes the hell and back. So, I mean, I wouldn't be shocked to see the Jaguars win this game, but I'd put my money on the Titans if I was picking somebody.
Yeah.
Just in time.
Sports betting is almost legal in Ohio.
Well, and that if you're interested in sports betting, go follow Butt Fumble Sports, which I'm the video editor for, but also from time to time I wasn't able to today because I had some shit pop off this morning, but check. We do Twitter Spaces for each NFL week, and we just kind of talk about our picks and who we think's going to win and stuff like that. So that was that's always fun and everything like that. But yeah, if you're interested in any type of sports gambling at all, even if it's not legal in your state at the moment, check out Butt Fumble Sports.
Yep, Butt Fumbles.
Yeah, I thought it was a great name too, personally.
Love them Butt Fumbles.
All right, so next up, we got the Buffalo Bills and the New York Jets. Go ahead.
Bills. Because simply put, I just think the Jets are just frauds. I don't think that they are who they think we are, who they think they are, who they think that we think that they are. I think that we know what they are. They are who we thought they were. Give me the Bills, y'all.
That was a lot of words to say the same thing over and over again. All right, so I'm going to take the Bills here, and I'm going to take the Bills simply for one reason. I'd like to see the Jets win this game, right? Because the Bengals right now are not just in contention for the AFC North. They're not just in contention for making the playoffs. Right now, the Bengals are in contention for the number 1 seed. So if the Jets pull off the upset, that really helps us out. But quite frankly, I don't believe in the Jets because of their quarterback situation, period. Mike White has 1 game per year, and I think that's going to be it for them. So I'm taking the Bills.
Yeah, they are who they thought they were. I know you were going to say for one thing, and that's because they are who we thought they were. I was like, yes, he said it.
All right.
Rest in peace to that guy, by the way. He passed away, sadly.
Oh, did he recently passed away?
Yeah, I believe in like 2018 or something like that.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like this week or something like that.
No.
Mikey's got the Bills too. All right, next up we got Denver Broncos hosting the Kansas City Chiefs. Is this the one where the Denver Broncos finally beat the Chiefs for the first time in like 13 games, Thomas? Or
No. Give me the Chiefs.
Well, that was quick.
No, yeah. Just stop the clock. Stop the clock.
That was your quickest one yet.
I'm not messing with that game. I'm sorry. I'm like, well, what we going to talk about? Patrick Mahomes and Russell Wilson? Yeah, no. Give me the Chiefs.
You know, interestingly enough, I saw That's Good Broncos, which is a podcast that covers the Broncos, but like it's Brandon Perner from That's Good Sports. It's his Broncos only podcast, and his co-host simulated a game between those two teams. If you swap the quarterbacks, and oddly enough, the Chiefs still won that game. So I don't know if it's just a Russell Wilson problem. I don't know if it's just a Patrick Mahomes problem. Like I think it might be that the Broncos might just be a wreck, like in general. Okay.
I can't believe they didn't. I can't believe they couldn't win that game against the Ravens. Like I was like, here it is.
I'm so tired of this shit, dude. But as my timer gets started, I basically said everything that I feel about the Broncos. Like they're just a wreck. Like Russell Wilson is not good, but I don't think it's Russell Wilson's it's just his fault. I think the Broncos have a terrible offensive scheme. I think the Broncos they're like Nathaniel Hackett is clearly a hack. And like I don't know, man. I think the Broncos are just a disaster right now, and Russell Wilson is in a bad situation. Not that I'm saying he's not washed up. I'm just saying I think that the Broncos have no hope, and they won't. I'd love to see them beat the Chiefs again for the number 1 seed, but they're not going to do it. Although Mikey thinks that the Broncos are going to. Well, he's rooting for the Broncos, so I don't know if that's an actual. I don't know if he's actually picking for logic on that one.
Wait, so your mom likes 3 teams? Dang.
Yeah, I like 1 team. I mean, I have other teams that I kind of enjoy, but like
my heart is loyal to the Browns.
I don't know how you're like a fan of multiple teams. Like, I mean, even when I was a kid, I liked the Broncos because of John Elway. But even then, it's like I couldn't I tried to be like a dual fan, like of Bengals and Broncos. I just couldn't do it. Like I didn't.
I'm a fan of multiple college sports teams. Though. I'm a fan of Youngstown State Penguins, the Ohio State University Bobcats, and the Blue Devils.
Yeah, but those are still different leagues. Well, I guess OU and so what would happen if OU played Duke?
I gotta go OU. I have to because I went to OU and Duke's the dream school.
Yeah. So like when I think didn't OU play Kentucky like not too long ago?
Yeah.
And I forget. I think I was rooting for Kentucky in that game, not because I don't love OU, but because I knew OU wasn't winning the tournament, right? Like I wanted Kentucky to win because Kentucky actually had a shot to win it all, and it's like I was just proud of OU for getting as far as they did, right? But it was like if it was like a championship game between OU and Kentucky, I think I'd root for OU because honestly, Kentucky, we got enough championships, man. Like we've done it enough times. And OU, I'd love to see them do it once. But in that game, it's like I didn't really believe in OU to go all the way. And Kentucky, I was like, hey, they might. I think we lost your audio, Thomas.
Yeah, I got it. I'm back. I'm sorry. My somebody was calling me. My brother just called me. Anyway, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
All right, awesome. All right. What was the question?
I don't know if there was a question, but let's go ahead and move on to the next game. So we got a fascinating quarterback matchup between the Miami Dolphins and the Los Angeles Chargers. Obviously, the big deal here being the question of who really was the second best quarterback from the 2020 NFL draft. Was it Justin Herbert? Get that out of here! Stupid notification. Was it? Stop! Why? Oh my God. Okay, so was Justin Herbert the best, second best quarterback from that draft class, or was Tua Tagovailoa? I have my opinions about who's the best quarterback, but what do you think is going to happen in this game, Thomas?
The best quarterback's Tua Tagovailoa. No, I'm joking. I want to go with the Dolphins. I don't really think the Chargers that good.
Yeah, I don't think the Chargers are that good either. And to be clear, what I was saying, by the way, was the best quarterback of those two. Obviously, like it's not my opinion that Joe Burrow is the best quarterback in the from the 2020 NFL draft. That's just a fact. Like, there's no debating that. Like at this point, but I believe Tua is the better quarterback out of those two. I believed at the time, you remember, I thought Justin Herbert was going to be a bust. And honestly, like, he is obviously not a bust, but he has been, like, lately kind of playing more like what I thought we were going to see, which is, like, you know, a guy with talent who just has no idea how to use it, which he does sometimes. That's what's keeping him afloat. But, you know, I guess you got to give credit to the Chargers coaching staff for developing him. All right, so for me, Miami Dolphins, Los Angeles Chargers. I'm picking the Dolphins here because it's the Chargers are just like, this is the time of year when the Chargers just like historically fall apart, right? And they're already not playing that great. Like, yeah, Justin Herbert. I think Tua is the better quarterback. I think they got the better wide receivers. I think they've got, you know, the better defense. Just in general, like I could see Los Angeles pulling the upset here, but especially because it's in Los Angeles. But I think the Dolphins are going to win.
I agree. They're just fast. Dolphins are good.
Mikey thinks the Chargers. All right, fair enough.
All right, Mikey.
All right, so next up we got the Dallas Cowboys hosting the Houston Texans. Now, Thomas, I'm going to need you to really try to think about this one. I know this one's going to be really, really hard to pick who's going to win this game. All right, so go ahead. If you can.
I'm going to do all 30 seconds for this one, man. So, you know, the Texans, man, you know, you have to respect, after watching the game, the Brown game versus Texans, like, I've seen a lot from the Texans, man. I've seen a lot from, was that Keenan Allen or Kyle Allen, where the hell the heck his name is. He threw a ball right at one of our players' hips, and it bounced off our player's hip, and it went 10 feet up in the air into one of our other players' hands, and he just walked in the end zone. Give me the Cowboys.
Okay, so you're taking the Cowboys. All I gotta say is, like, you know, let's just hypothesize that pass was intentional by Kyle Allen because maybe he hates the Texans or something. That would be an incredible amount of accuracy, wouldn't it? Like, if Steve who's able to make that happen, that'd be incredible. But I'm taking the Cowboys because the Texans are historically awful. Like as historically awful as the Texans have been in recent years, this one might be the worst. So I'm taking the Cowboys. I'm taking the Cowboys. No analysis about the Cowboys. The Cowboys are a good football team, but the Texans are the Texans. So, like, they won't win another game this year at all, period. The Browns tried to hand it. The Browns were like, here you go, have a win. And the Texans were like, oh, no, that's okay. I don't want it.
They're going to win with $1 million. Okay?
Oh, God. The Texans are so bad. I'm feeling like Mikey is just being, like, controversial at this point because he's picking the Texans. There's no way. You have to be joking.
Look. I was so confident we were going to win last week. Now you had to scream, Coach, just let Deshaun Watson throw the ball 50 times. We're going to win anyway. Just let him throw the ball 50 times. Let him throw it as many times as possible to get that rest off. Let him get as many reps as possible, Coach. Like, I need him to take out as much rest as possible for the Bengals game. Don't run the ball, throw it. I was like, throw the ball. Just have him throw it out of bounds or something. I don't care.
Just try to get those mechanics back.
Get those mechanics back, man. It's a Texas. Trust me. We can always come back and win against this team. We always can.
Oh, boy. All right. So, New England Patriots traveling to Arizona to play the Cardinals. What you got? This is the Monday Night Football game, apparently, because God hates us, apparently. So, go ahead.
I'm not going to go with the Patriots because I just think that – Kyler Murray even playing?
I believe so.
Yeah, well, I mean, I just think Bill Belichick to draw a plan to stop Kyler Murray.
So you think the Cardinals are going to win?
No.
Okay, so I got you down as the Cardinals.
No. Am I tripping here? Am I tripping here? Are we not talking about the Patriots and the Cardinals?
Yeah, I am actually having a little bit of trouble figuring out if he's playing this week or not. So I don't
Either
know.
way.
I would bet probably he's playing, but I don't know. So you're taking the Cardinals. Let's see.
Well, I just said no. I'm not taking Cardinals.
Have we picked a game different yet? I don't think we've picked a game different yet.
I said I'm not taking Cardinals.
Yeah, I'm just noting. I don't think that we've picked like you and I.
Oh no. We haven't. We've been locked up on hit.
And I am continuing the true. Well, no, I'm not actually. I'm taking the Patriots in this one. So I'm taking the Patriots because I don't believe in the Cardinals at all. I haven't pretty much ever. I thought Cliff Kingsbury was going to get fired mid-season this year, and they kind of started putting a little bit together, but I don't really think it's enough. Kyler Murray, I think, is a terrible leader, and I think Bill Belichick is, kind of like the Patriots are in the playoff hunt right now. I don't think they're going to be losing to the Cardinals. So I'm taking the Patriots. So
we both agree.
Do what?
So we both agree. So we both agree.
No, we don't, Thomas.
I hate you. I know he's going.
Mikey says he's taking the Cardinals. So Mikey agrees with you.
Whatever, Mikey.
All right.
I know it's wrong. That's how you know it's wrong.
All right. Next up, we got the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions in Detroit. What you got?
You know what, Kyle? I don't know the other games in the schedule, but I'm making this my big upset of the week. Give me the Lions. I just think the Lions were looking good. They were looking fast and looking more confident. They're home against the cross-state rival, the Vikings. It's going down. Two Midwestern rivals, cold-ass cities who both have domes. Give me the Lions. I'm going to the Lions.
All right. Well, I'm very annoyed at you because I was going to make this my big upset of the week. But you beat me to it. So I'm picking the Lions. Wait, hold on. Blah, 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 blah. You beat me to it. I'm picking the Lions as well. You can keep you can keep calling it the big upset of the week because I was going to do that too. But I don't know. Just the Lions feel like, like obviously they're not the hotter team because the Vikings keep winning. But the Lions are, doing pretty well lately. And I don't believe in the Vikings at all. At all. Like they're gonna stumble at some point, and I don't know if it's possible, like if realistic for them to lose a division at this point. I know it's still possible, but I don't know if it's realistic to think that the Vikings would lose the division at this point. But I think the Lions put the question mark on it this week by taking down the Vikings.
Yeah, they did.
So, all right, next up. We got the Philadelphia Eagles and New York Giants. Go ahead.
The New York Giants. I'm joking. Eagles, Giants, Eagles. I think the Giants are good, but I don't think that they're. I think they're good, but I just think the Eagles have a better quarterback. I think Jalen Hurts is the real deal. I think he's solid. I think the Giants have inefficiencies and taking advantage of a bad MC. So give me the Eagles.
Okay. So I pretty much agree, and apparently Mikey does as well. We're all in agreement here, I think, that the Eagles are a very good football team. I personally think there's no argument with them being the best team in the NFL at this point. I just where's the hole with the Eagles? It's just like the only criticism against the Eagles I can really think of is people wonder, is Jalen Hurts really the real deal? Because that's the only thing. It's is what we're seeing from him for real? It's the only thing that we can really criticize about the Eagles right now is a speculation-based argument. it's everything we've seen is that the Eagles are just like dominance. Like it's just like losing to the Colts was weird. And then, they lost one other game. Or like almost losing. Struggling against the Colts was weird, and losing that one game was weird. But I think for the most part, the Eagles are just the most complete team in the NFL right now. And the Giants are not. The Giants are very injured, and Brian Daboll is a great coach, but I know I'm going like twice over my time here. But yeah, Eagles are way better than the Giants. I'm going to take the Eagles. So next up, 49ers and Buccaneers. Go ahead.
Man, I'm going to have to go with Buccaneers. Even though the Buccaneers look bad at times, or very inconsistent at times, that Jimmy Garoppolo injury is impactful. So I mean, I heard he's coming back soon, but I want the Buccaneers. I want Tom Brady for this one.
All right. So I am going to go with the 49ers. I'm going to bring up the same thing you brought up, Thomas, but I'm going to completely disagree with the way that you said it. I don't think the Jimmy Garoppolo injury is impactful at all, because you know what we saw? We saw Brock Purdy come in and basically do the same thing. Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant. He was the last possible 7th-round draft pick. And he came in and did basically the same thing Jimmy Garoppolo was doing. So I think the 49ers, especially that defense, is insane. I don't think the Buccaneers are going to be able to keep up with Tom Brady's old ass. I think the Buccaneers might be a little bit better than the way they've been playing lately, but I still don't think they're a good football team. So I think they're probably going to lose to the Niners.
Well, if Brock Purdy ended up being the real deal, no, you're not. But it makes you think, man. It makes you think though. Maybe on the 49, what the 49ers could do with a quarterback like Jacoby Brissett.
Or perhaps they could do a quarterback like what Tom Brady did all those years ago, right?
Maybe.
Supplanting. I guess the main difference would be like Drew Bledsoe was like a 1st-round draft pick and Jimmy Garoppolo definitely was not. But look, he was a 2nd-round pick, wasn't he?
Oh,
Jimmy Garoppolo.
He was a 2nd-round pick out of Eastern Michigan, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
All right. So last non-AFC North game, we got the Carolina Panthers and the Seattle Seahawks. So go ahead, Thomas.
Seahawks are a good team. They proved to me that Wilson was a problem. I remember saying at the beginning of the year, like, hey, maybe the Seahawks was onto something. Maybe the Seahawks was onto something. And yeah, they were. So Carolina sucks. I wasn't Baker Mayfield, the Carolina Panthers. Yep.
Got nothing left to root for in Carolina with Baker Mayfield gone. And I gotta say real quick before I start my time, I am terrified of the idea of the Rams making it back to the Super Bowl and having to face Aaron Donald again. So I'm not rooting for Baker Mayfield that much, but outside of the fact that they beat us in a Super Bowl last year, I've never had a problem with the Rams. And Baker Mayfield's finally on a team that I can generally root for, right?
By the way, that Stafford injury might be more serious than people think it is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's been talk that Stafford might like consider retirement or something like that. So I mean, that might end up being Baker Mayfield's job.
That's an injury. That's a hard injury to come from. And if there's anybody that can unlock Baker Mayfield, it's McVay. And I thought that, like, when I watched that game, that's why I said to Rams. I had that thought. I was like, man, if there's anybody that can unlock Baker Mayfield, it's McVay. Like, I just feel like he would be like, ooh, I could do some things with this guy.
Too bad Odell's not there anymore.
Yeah, but I just feel like McVay is literally the perfect coach for Baker Mayfield. Literally, he's the perfect coach.
Oh, no, you're right for sure.
Cause I just be sitting there cause me and you were at that game where Baker Mayfield. Were you at that game when Baker Mayfield threw those 5 touchdowns when him and Burrow went back and forth?
No, I wasn't.
No, okay. I was at that game. You seen it. You seen when Baker Mayfield's locked in, what he could do. It's pretty special. I know he got something. That guy got something,
Yeah.
I know I'm not crazy. I know what I've seen.
All right, so I, as far as the Seahawks and Panthers go, I'm taking the Seahawks, just like you, Thomas, because like Geno Smith is proof, I think, that scheme really matters because Geno Smith was so awful for the Jets, but the Jets had nothing around Geno Smith. That's part of the thing. So, I mean, he was also like, immature, and that was a lot of part of it. Now he's a lot older and more mature, and he knows how to navigate the waters a little bit better. And then on the other side, the Panthers are just trash. Like they are pure and utter tank, just period, straight up.
They are who they are.
They're exactly who we thought they were. So, I mean, like, if the Panthers beat the Seahawks, I'll eat my foot. But
if the Panthers beat the Seahawks, then we let them off the hook.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what? Mike is agreeing with us now. It makes me wonder that he really does think the Texans are going to win.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of concerned now that you bring that up. I'm like, oh boy.
Now, if the Texans win, we got to eat crow.
Dude, if the Texans win, I will make a compilation video of us blasting Mikey for taking the Texans. I'll make a whole video. I'll put it up on my channel and be like, I'm an idiot. I'm sorry, but right now I'm like, if you are actually taking the Texans, I question your sanity.
If the Texans win, I would sing the Peanut Butter Jelly song in an afro.
You should do that anyway.
No, only if the Texans win.
All right then. All right. Mikey says Seahawks. So, all right. So, last two games, we know what two games those are. So, first one is Ravens and Steelers. I'm going to go first on this one. Because I think I know what you're going to say, Thomas.
Is this like say the AFC North and are we doing kind of them both in one now, or how we doing this?
Oh, we can, yeah, because I don't want to spend too much more time because I need to get ready for my stream later.
I got some drinking to do too.
Yeah, so I mean we can go ahead and combine.
Yeah, we might as well just talk about knock it all out at once, right? So who we want to talk about first? Steelers or the Ravens? So which one we going to talk about first?
Well, you know what? I'll go ahead and get the more unpleasant one out of the way. Let's talk about the Steelers real quick. And I hate them, but I have to give props. The Steelers have been doing better lately. And I still don't think Kenny Pickett is all that, but he hasn't been getting in the way lately, and the Steelers have been finding the way to win some games. So I put out my power rankings this week, and some Steelers fan came on and was like, oh, you must be a Bengals fan, saying that the Steelers are terrible and that blah 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 blah. And you got the Raiders in the playoff hunt, and they got the same record as we do. And my first thing I got to say about that is the power rankings are not about what your record is. The power rankings are about how good you look right now. And I'm not gonna lie, I've still got the Steelers in tank time, and that's probably not fair. And also the Raiders, trust me, the Raiders are coming down after the way they let Baker Mayfield do that to them. The Raiders are coming down next week. But the Steelers probably don't deserve to be in tank time anymore. I haven't really been paying enough attention to that. But at the same time, we've been really arguing that much about the bottom 14 teams, y'all, or the bottom 8. Really, I want to argue about what I want to argue about what the top 14 teams are doing. Who's are the Eagles the best team? Am I a homer for putting the Bengals at number 2? Which, by the way, a lot of other outlets are putting the Bengals at 2 and 3 and 4 and all that. So, but whatever you want to talk about me putting the Bengals at number 2 and saying that that's ridiculous. Go ahead. We can have that conversation. You want to talk about the Cowboys should be higher. We can have that conversation. I'm not giving enough credit to the Ravens, which I'm probably giving too much. But either way. We can have that conversation, but why do we got to argue about the teams that aren't making the playoffs this year? Come on.
Why do I always feel the Steelers always get breaks? Why do I always feel everything always falls the Steelers' way?
Because quite frankly, and I hate it, but Mike Tomlin is a really good coach the thing that he's really good at is taking advantage of of opportunities. He's really good at
we're gonna get to that because they got a really good opportunity, and it really sucks. They got a really good opportunity today, so they're going to be even closer. They're going to be 6-7 today.
Well,
they might have A better record than the Browns by the end of today.
So that's what I was gonna say. Like, as far as predicting this game goes, I'm making this one my big upset of the week, and that's why I wanted to go first because, like, I know you're probably gonna pick them too. So I wanted to at least have some oomph coming from me. But I think the Steelers are going to beat the Baltimore Ravens this week, just because the main reason. I mean, there's a couple reasons, really. A big one is the fact that the Steelers are on a hot streak lately. The Ravens look like trash lately, and Lamar Jackson's out. So I like it. It just feels like everything's lining up perfectly, and it's in Pittsburgh. Like, I hate it. I've been telling, like, Bengals fans all week have been being like, "Oh man, it's weird. We have to root for the Steelers this week. That's gonna feel really strange. I don't like rooting for the Steelers." And I'm like, y'all, you like, just because it's not realistic, we can root for a tie. Like, you don't have to root for the Steelers. You can be like, I hope they tie. I hope they both lose. Whatever. Like I'm not gonna lie. If the Bengals win this week and the Steelers lose, am I gonna be broken up about the Steelers winning? No, I'm gonna be like, hey man, we're in first place in the division. Like, I feel dirty about the Steelers winning, but I ain't gonna complain about it too badly. But at the same time, if the Steelers lose, and it's just like, yeah, fuck you. So,
if I'm being real, I don't really think that the Ravens are gonna win a lot of games down the stretch.
Well, that's the other thing. I don't think we need to root for the Steelers to beat them because I think the Ravens are going to lose anyway.
I think the Ravens are about to collapse. Not only that, they were looking bad with Lamar. That's why I made last week's game, the Broncos Ravens game, my biggest upset of the week. I thought the Broncos were going to win. I'm like, oh yeah, the Broncos will win the game.
They almost did.
Almost did. Tyler Huntley looks okay. He looks solid, but they ain't been the Steelers, so I'm going with the Steelers still.
I do not think I thought Tyler Huntley looked awful against the Broncos. Now, to be fair, the Broncos have a really good defense, so it's like, take from that what you will. But I thought Tyler Huntley looked terrible against the Broncos. So, all right.
Yeah, he did.
So now we're at the big one. We're at the big one, and I think y'all can probably guess the predictions that me and Thomas are gonna make. Like, this one's probably not going to come as a surprise to anybody, but. Go ahead, Thomas. Why don't you tell us who you think is going to win the 99th Battle of Ohio?
Well, see, Kyle, look. Fact of the matter is, even though we have won 6 games in a row, we have to go about logic. And look at logic. You see the fact that Bengals have Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins.
I see the smile on your face.
And the Browns have Greg Newsome, Denzel Ward. If y'all try to pass the ball, by the way, whatever. If y'all try to pass on us, y'all gonna lose. I gotta run that ball. I think that our pass defense is a lot better than it gets credit for. And the best part is a category 4 is coming to Cincinnati. Category 4 is coming to Cincinnati, and he's coming for vengeance.
Vengeance from what? Y'all beat us 6 times in a row.
You're right. Give it the Browns.
The stupid seal is asking what's happening. I'm not sure what you're referring to, but we're making our predictions before the game is basically what's happening. So, all right. So Thomas is taking the Browns. Of course he is. So I'm going to tell you what you're right about, Thomas. The main thing that you're right about is that the Bengals need to run the football to beat the Browns. I do agree with that. That said, the Bengals have been much better at running the football. The offensive line is starting to gel. The Bengals have that area of the Bengals game. Yeah, I'm turning this clock off. We're not doing that for this one. The Bengals offensive line and running game have been improving significantly over the last few weeks. And part of the reason we lost to the Browns last time is because we just didn't run the damn ball. And I don't understand why we didn't. Because it was working then too.
I don't know why I didn't run the ball.
It's not that we didn't even – it's not that we ran the ball and we were bad at it. It's that we just didn't run the ball.
Your back and running back looking good too, by the way.
Yeah, that's the thing. And Joe Mixon's back. So we're going to have both of them. But you were correct in that You are correct in that the Bengals need to run the ball to beat the Browns. I think they're going to do it. The reason I think they're going to do it is because the Bengals have been learning from their mistakes all year. They've been running the ball more often lately. And the game after they played the Browns, they did so many run plays. Like, they just ran the rock the whole fucking time, basically. And I think they learned from their mistakes of being, like, oh, it's especially part of the problem was you don't have Jamar. It's your first game without Jamar Chase. Maybe run the ball a little bit more, be a little nicer to Joe Burrow, but whatever. The point is, Jamar Chase is back this week, so you got to deal with him. You don't get to miss him this week. Joe Mixon's back. The Bengals know they need to run the ball this time. The Bengals will fucking do it this time. I swear to God, if they don't, I will run my head into a brick wall. I'm sick of this shit, but I do think they get it done this week. I think the Bengals win.
I'm so mad I didn't go to this game. I'm so freaking mad I didn't go to this game.
I would have loved to go to that game with you, but it is what it is. But that would have been so much fun.
No, I'm probably going to go to the Saints game on Christmas Eve. Really excited about that game. And I'm probably going to go to the. I'm probably going to go to the Steelers game.
So the stupid seal is saying that the Bengals are by far the better team, which I think we can all agree with. On paper, they should beat the Bengals, but unfortunately, logic doesn't make any sense when the Bengals play the Browns, which is it's a division game. AFC North games are always they're a different breed.
Look, I'm going to be real with you. Okay, can I be completely honest? In order for the Browns to beat the Bengals, like we're being completely honest here, we're just going by logic here. In order for the Browns to beat the Bengals, Deshaun Watson has to take a step forward. Deshaun Watson had to look more like Deshaun Watson. It's not about what y'all do because I think
he
you
definitely
guys
can't look like he did last week.
Yeah, I think you guys want to bring it. In order for the Browns to beat the Bengals, it matters Deshaun Watson can find himself. He got to go on this path to find himself. Like Deshaun Watson, you got to look at yourself in the mirror. Well, like, where am I? And then you figure out where the hell you are. And then you find yourself. And when you find yourself, Deshaun Watson, go ape shit on the Bengals. Go ape shit. I mean, King Kong. Go King Kong on the Bengals. Tell them they can't hold you. Come on, Watson. Baker Mayfield always got right on the Bengals. You can too. Come on, Watson. You got this. Like, who are they? Like, who are they? Who are we referring to? To they? Like, what we're talking about? They?
They are who we thought they were.
I'm sorry. I hate you for that one. I can't wait till the Browns blood Saints.
Are the Browns playing the Saints?
New Year's Eve on Christmas Eve, baby.
Oh, that's gonna be interesting. I think it depends on if Deshaun Watson gets better, honestly.
Yeah, we're gonna see. I just remember.
I would love to see Andy Dalton continue to own the Browns because, like, if we can't do it, maybe he can at least continue his dominance.
I just think that Watson's gonna. Go to find a new gear. They're gonna find his gear back. He got to sooner than later, man. He's too damn good.
Yeah, he will. He will. My whole thing was like, I'm not sure if it's going to happen this year, but he will.
Yeah,
like Deshaun Watson next year, I think Deshaun Watson's going to be like a top 5 quarterback. Definitely top 10, maybe top 5, but definitely top 10.
There's literally Browns fans who think that he's just a bad quarterback. I don't know what's wrong with him. I'm like, yo, no.
That's because Browns fans are reactionary, Thomas. Like, we know this.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's very true.
It's this. Okay, so the stupid seal asks, I don't want to be that guy because it was Deshaun Watson's first game back and it's been 2 years since he last played. But if the Bengals beat the crap out of the Browns, should they start Jacoby next week? And
no.
The answer, yeah, I agree. The answer is no. The answer is no because Deshaun Watson, like the season's already over for the Browns. You have nothing.
Yeah.
You have nothing left to like really shoot for. So get your guy some experience, get Deshaun Watson some playing time so that when you come back next year, Deshaun Watson, has like it hasn't been like 700 days since he last threw an NFL pass. That's why he's struggling right now, because it's been 2 years basically since he was relevant in the NFL. So, I mean, it's like Mike Vick's first game back for the Eagles wasn't amazing,
Maybe the Browns like 2 or 3, they're like 65 or 75 or something. But they're not that. They're 5-7.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like the Browns season's basically over. Like it's not over. It's still there's still like a Hail Mary of a chance, but it's probably over. If the Bengals beat the Browns, I don't remember. Are the Browns eliminated if the Bengals beat them?
Just about. If the Browns beat the Bengals, if we win today, we're running the table though. Because if you could beat the Bengals, then you're beating the Ravens. And then you're beating the Saints for sure. And then you got Washington. You're beating them. I mean, I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but I think by then Washington should be in like rhythm. And then that leaves the Steelers. And that'll be the Steelers on last game of the season.
So Michael Vick's first game back was against the Carolina Panthers in 2009. Mm-hmm. And in that game, let's see. In that game, that's not the game. What am I looking at? Is that not the right game? No, that's the right game. Was Mike Vick not even on the team at that point?
Well, no, you got to realize the first game he played behind Donovan McNabb.
They had Kevin Cobb and Mike Vick and Donovan McNabb.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a roster right there. Okay, so when did Mike Vick play then?
I'm pretty sure he sat behind Donovan McNabb for like 2 or 3 games before he started.
Well, apparently Kevin Cobb came in and played for a while.
Yeah.
What was Mike Vick's first game, man? Like
I don't know. I can't remember that.
I'm sure you don't know. I'm trying to figure.
I remember tearing up eventually though.
Eventually, he played well, but he also didn't like. It wasn't the same Mike Vick. He was never the same like Atlanta Falcons level Mike Vick. It never got back to that.
Yeah, but he passed left. He was more of an athletic type guy, so his athleticism went down. I think that Deshaun Watson is a better passer than Mike Vick is. I think that he had more of a down throw. Deshaun Watson is such a good passer. That's why I like him so much, because he has a really good passing ability. He puts the ball in great places, and when his mechanics are going, he's just great. He can run, but that man got an arm. He got great placement. God, he can just make stuff happen.
So let's see. Looks like the first few games you had Mike Vick coming in and throwing a few passes, but it was mostly Kevin Cobb and Donovan McNabb playing the games. And then shit doesn't seem to want to load for me. He didn't play at all against the Jamarcus Russell Raiders, and the Raiders won that game apparently. It's kind of crazy to think that Jamarcus Russell won a football game.
Probably why Donovan McNabb got benched. Shit, Johnny Manziel won a football game. The only quarterback every single that didn't win a football game that had a lot of chances was Deshaun Kaiser.
Well, Donovan McNabb didn't get benched in that game though.
Cody Kessler. Brandon Weeder. Well, Brandon Weeder won games. Cody Kessler didn't know. Nor did Deshaun either. I had the Browns stop.
Yeah,
I had the Browns stop wasting season.
Wait, so Mike Vick's first game as the starter was 2010? According to Mikey, his first game as a starter was 2010. So, I guess in that case.
Oh, okay, they started him they started him in the new season. Yeah. But he was with the team. He had team time to work out with them and stuff. Kind of different scenario.
Yeah. Okay, so well, in that case, it was a loss to the Green Bay Packers then. He came back his first game. And that, if this website would load. Mikey says y'all are going to beat him 62-0. Like, I'm not saying the Browns aren't going to win that game. I'm just saying, like, Andy Dalton does own the Browns. So, Michael Vick's first game against the Packers, the Eagles lost. Vick wasn't horrible, but he also didn't do a whole lot. Looks like he went 16 of 24 for 175 yards and a touchdown. But he did rush for 100 yards. So, But he also had a whole season to prepare.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying about like Deshaun Watson. I'm feeling like Deshaun Watson might have like a Michael Vick type of like career revival. Like Deshaun Watson with the Browns is going to be about like what Michael Vick was with the Eagles. Like back to like pretty good, but never like like a top like 3 quarterback, right?
Yeah, Michael Vick relied on his legs more than Deshaun Watson did, though.
Deshaun Watson kind of like so Michael Vick's game was about his legs. There's a difference.
Yeah.
It's not like Deshaun Watson's game still like his legs are a big deal. Part of the reason
they are. They are. But it's not all his game, but Watson could pass though. He lit the league in passing. It wasn't like
Michael
his
Vick
yard
pass too.
Oh yeah,
Michael Vick's not Lamar Jackson.
Michael Vick, what he had was a cannon. Michael Vick had a cannon of an arm. Like Michael Vick, he could boot that ball. I think Michael Vick was good. He was good. Michael Vick was good. Michael Vick was really good, actually.
Yeah, Michael Vick was
Michael Vick was pretty damn good. Michael Vick was pretty damn good. Oh my God, Michael Vick was so fun to watch. Man, I remember the first time I ever watched him play. Man, Michael Vick is cold.
Seth Messersmith 4 Ravens fan says they're beating Pittsburgh. I don't know if you were watching.
Seth Messer Smith, John Jacob Alice Smith. His name is my name too. The Ravens are going down. I really think they are. Like again, like you got the Ravens playing not as well lately. You've got the Steelers playing a lot better lately, and the Ravens are missing their starting quarterback. So it just feels, especially it being in Pittsburgh, it feels ripe for the Steelers to like take this and be like, look at us, we're a playoff team now, and then they get smacked a couple weeks later. Like that'd be fun. But hey, I am down, by the way. I just want to point out, like, I know we're like kind of running over at this point. Yeah, I might go.
But real quick, I just want to point out, I am down for like this whole like the Steelers are getting on a little bit hot lately. I'm down for that because you know why? I want the Steelers to be bad, but I don't want the Steelers to be so bad that they get a good draft pick, right?
Yeah.
So yeah. I'm down for them. Like them winning games is fine with me. Like, like. They finished like 6-11. I'm fine with that. 7-10. I'm fine with that.
Go ahead. I got fun, Pittsburgh. Go ahead, have it. Do your little thing. You got the little thing. You'll be fine. Go ahead. Every dog got to have his day, right? Go ahead, do your thing.
Now, if they end up like 9-8, I'm gonna be a little pissed off. But God, I hate the Steelers so much. But anyway, y'all, that's all we got for this episode of the Battle of Ohio podcast. Thomas got to get going. Don't forget to check. Don't forget to join me for the Bengals Browns stream for the 99th Battle of Ohio. I'll be streaming that whole game. But you can always catch more of what I do at Kyle Phelps 92 on Twitter, Facebook.com/thephelps, ATBnetwork.com. But Fumble Sports, go check me out there too. Thomas, you can find him at T_star94 on Twitter and Instagram, and the Thomas J Network on TikTok and YouTube. So anything else that you want to say before we get going, Thomas?
Pittsburgh still sucks. You can go down.
Still suck. And one last comment from the Stupid Seal before we go. He says, speaking of Lamar, how bad is his injury going to impact the Ravens? Bengals should be able to run away with the division now, right? They should if they do it. Like they should they actually got to go out and do the damn thing, which they're playing like they absolutely should right now. But if you like Bengals fans know that trusting the Bengals is a bad prospect. So we'll see.
Don't slip it to the Browns.
Okay, so we're getting out of here before I delete Thomas. Thomas, you're canceled. That's what we're doing. You're canceled. You and the Browns. Your win streak is canceled. Bengals coming in and winning this game.
The Browns been canceled since March.
Dude, the Browns have been canceled. Art Modell canceled the Browns. I'm sorry, but he did.
He literally canceled the Browns.
Exactly. So, you're right, Stupid Seal. The AFC North makes no sense at all. But anyway, that's all we got. So I'll leave y'all before I see y'all in about an hour with a hooray. Actually, it'll be in 20 minutes. Holy shit.
Go Cavs, go Browns. Peace, y'all.
All right.